And we are live. And I say we because I got my white friend with me. You guys are like, white friend? You got white friends already. Yeah, but this is my white friend.
Your one white friend.
That's actually black. Yep, it's the truth. My one white friend is actually black. It's great. Let me introduce you guys to my brother. You guys know all about him already. I've told you all about this brother. This is Shane Jenkins. I was going to use his government name right now, the middle name, but I ain't going to do it. This is Shane Jenkins, everybody. This is my brother. We served time together in DC DOC. He's a J6 Patriot, amazing human being, great friend, and a God-fearing man, straight up. Shane, talk to the people real quick, man, before we get into this.
What's going on, everybody? I hope y'all are well, man. It's good to be on with my brother Cash, man. We had some rough days in DC, but we also had some really good days, some good laughs, and some, it's good to call you my brother. Good to be on here. We talk a lot, but it's good to finally go live with you. I've been meaning to do it, but it's just life happens, man. So thanks for having me on. Bro.
Hey, you already know this platform is your platform. You already know any of our brothers, bro. You know, our brothers, like our brothers. Anytime, you know what I'm saying? This is your platform. I'm not, without saying too much, you know what I mean? You get me. But yeah, so you did an interview with Willie D, right? And for the people that don't know who Willie D is, man, all right, I ain't gonna hate on him. The brother's a legend. He's a legend, you know?
Yeah.
But I've made reels about Willie D because some of his takes I feel are race baity. You know what I'm saying? They race baity, and it's always like, it's always something racial. He's always got something to say about white people. You know what I'm saying? And it bothers me because you got a platform. You have a platform and you're using it the same way I get mad at, like, say, Charlie Kirk because or Brandon Tatum. I get mad at all of them equally because they use their platforms to make things about race and to bring out racial statistics and what a race does. It's like, leave that alone. Let's just talk about the issues of crime without putting color into it. Let's talk about the issues of the left without saying the blacks or what, you know what I'm saying? Whatever it is. And he's one of the ones that does that on the opposite side. Like, he's a race baiter, but it doesn't take away from the brilliance of his music back in the day, which, hey, it is what it is. But how did it feel, bro, to be on that interview with him?
Man, it was crazy because, we got to the studio a little bit early, and I have a really good Christian rap legend friend named Trey Nine, and he's big in the Christian rap game. But we got to the studio, man. I'm looking at the wall of the studio and all these people that like signed the wall. I don't know if you saw like the clips, but
I've seen it.
It's like Reggie Jackson, Allen Iverson, Richard Hamilton, like a lot of professional athletes, Gilbert Godfrey, one of the dudes from the Insane Clown Posse. Like, that's not even MC Light, like just legends.
There was a bunch of names on that wall, bro.
Yeah, and the rap game. And then I'm like, man, and then I looked at the interview that he did with Cat Williams. It has like 8 million views. And I'm like, man, I'm going to go sit in the same interview with that dude. And I was like, jeez.
Yours
so it was a little bit intimidating, you know what I mean? But
yeah,
it was cool. Yeah. It was cool, man. It was cool getting to meet him.
Well, do you feel intimidated sitting in this chair right now on this interview? Because I'm gonna tell you, you're good. You're good. You're good. You ain't got nothing to worry about on this one, bro. You straight. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm good, man. I feel like I'm at home right now.
Exactly, my brother. Since we're talking about views, everybody, I need you to do me a favor real quick before we jump into this breakdown. We're not gonna watch the whole thing. I'm gonna tell you guys right now. It's an hour and 37 minutes long, but I did link it in the description of this video if you want to watch the entire interview, which I recommend because it was actually really good. At the end of the day, it was a really, really good interview. Willie D did a good job, minus some things that I'm going to talk about on my own, as we watch it. But go and watch that. Go and watch it. And before you do anything, like this video real quick for me and share this video out. If you're on X right now, please go follow Shane Jenkins. What's your name on there? Real J6?
Yeah, the Real J6 Shane on X.
The Real J6 Shane.
If you want to watch the whole... Yeah, and if you want to watch the whole interview, we got it up on Rumble at the Real J6 on Rumble.
Okay.
So,
on Rumble, the Real J6 on Rumble, everybody. But Shane is on all social media platforms, right?
What's that?
You're on all social media platforms, though, right?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook. You had a bunch of people follow me from Facebook that are friends with you today. But then, I'm also on it's on Instagram. It's the Real J6_US. On Instagram as well.
We'll make sure we link that after this. We'll link it in the description of this video as well. But yeah, you guys go give him a follow. This brother, I'm gonna tell you, out of we were locked up with a lot of people, and I made connections with a bunch of brothers, but he's one of the ones that you guys heard me talk about a lot, as well as Kenny and Kelly and Ryan and Doodoo. Y'all heard me talk about all them brothers, but he's one of the ones. This is it. This is part of the circle. Like, this is my brother. So please go and follow him, man, and support everything that he does. This brother's amazing. Without further ado,
Fairlamb Fit too, man. Can't forget.
Oh yeah, Scotty. I keep on forgetting, but you know what it is? When Scott first got home, we was talking a lot. We still do. He'll message me randomly, right? But my man Scotty, in my mind, Scotty's like already like a living legend, bro. Have you seen the stuff that he's been doing out there?
Yeah.
His quality. Yeah. I look at my studio and I'm like, man, my studio's dope. And then I'll see Scott post something and I'm just like, this brother's got a really nice setup going on over there, But I had him on a couple times already. Scott's definitely part of the circle, man. He left us early, didn't he?
Right. Yeah, he did. He abandoned us.
Yeah, he abandoned Scott. Yo, Scott Fairlamb. Somebody tag Scott in the comment section right now. Scott Fairlamb, you abandoned us, bro. We have abandonment issues because of you.
He left everybody behind, man.
No, that's definitely our brother, man. I can't believe I didn't mention him right now. I'm sorry, Scott. Don't hit me. You're bigger than me. All right.
Way bigger.
So, yeah, he's a giant, man. So let me get this video pulled up, bro. This is fun already, bro. I'm having a blast.
I already know.
All right, there we go. Whoa. Look at you.
That's
You're
an
way
ugly
up in
face
there,
right
bro.
there. Ginger beard.
Look at this guy. Hold on. Let me fix this layout real quick so I can get. There you go. You're in frame now. Boom. Okay. There we go. Now we're both in frame. Let me go ahead and cue the interview. Here we go.
What's up, man?
Not much. How you doing, sir?
Oh, yeah, it's a lot. Hold on, bro. You're not going to slide that by, man. There's a lot going on with you, man. You were one of 1,100 January 6th rioters. Y'all decided to roll on the biggest and the baddest government in the world. Did you get mixed up in this, or did you make a conscious decision and had the foresight to know that what I'm doing is some pretty heavy stuff and there's some heavy consequences that come along with it?
Well, no, I meant to do it.
Prior to leading up to that, I had no idea. I went to go protest what I felt like was a questionable at best election, and I intended to go to the Capitol and have my First Amendment rights exercised and protest, and I wanted to see Donald Trump before he left office. I had never been to D.C. to a rally or been to see any of the history of the city, and I knew that if nothing changed, that Donald Trump would be out of office January 20th. So I decided to go to D.C. I was off of work, and so I just decided to go attend a protest.
Yeah, and you became the center of the protest. You was right in the thick of things. I saw you on a video, man. I can say this now. I'm not trying to incriminate you, because this is already documented. But you're on video with a tomahawk axe, bludgeoning a window at the Capitol. Like, when you were doing this, like, at any point did you just snap and say, "Man, this is crazy"?
Yeah. So there was different levels to it, but whenever prior to that moment in time, I had been at the rally, and some of my friends wanted to go.
My man Shane, well, yeah, there's elements to it. See, what happened was,
what had happened? The tomahawk fell out of the sky and landed right in my hand.
Yeah. But you did give a really good reason. You gave a really good reason moving after, like, later in this interview. I was like, I'm so glad that you explained it to him. So,
I saw a dude in the reflection with the tomahawk, and he made a move. We had to get it on, dude.
And freshen up and use the restroom, and I went and got coffee for everybody. They came down, and when they came down, they looked at their phones and they said, "Oh my gosh, they've stormed the Capitol," right? And so I was like,
isn't that strange though, bro? Did you notice how when everybody made it back, when I made it back to the hotel, that's all they were saying on the news was storm the Capitol, storm the Capitol, storm the Capitol. Mm-hmm. It was like they had it written ready to say that we stormed the Capitol. I even You remember when we were in DC DOC? we basically started saying the same thing. Like, yeah, we stormed the Capitol. And nobody was saying that when we first got there. I was not saying that I stormed the Capitol. I was saying I went to a protest. Like, I was at J6 protest. And then somewhere down the line, we all just became the people that stormed the Capitol. And it's because of that whole Operation Mockingbird, bro. They put it on TV so much and so many people kept saying it. We just adopted it.
Did you see there was a news article that got released that morning at like 9 a.m. before it had even happened? They had already written an article that said they stormed the Capitol. So it was already prepared to roll out. They had their messaging, like you said, Operation Mockingbird was ready to go. They had their messaging already ready to go.
Man, dog, they brainwashed me for a while there. I thought I was turning into a Democrat after I got the vaccine. And I did. I'm like, man, I'm reverting back, dog. All right, love Biden. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those things.
Something's happening. So I took off running to the Capitol to see what was going on. And when I come around to the west side of the building, they had these temporary grandstands set up where the president, around the inauguration stage, where the president would put his hand on the Bible when he gets sworn in. And it looked like somebody had kicked like a fire ant bed, and people were just climbing. These temporary stands were probably 5 stories tall, and there was people, it looked like fire ants climbing over them. And so I was like, I want to go see what exactly is going on. And so I climb up onto the actual inauguration stage. And in that moment, you know, I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. And so in that moment, when I grabbed that little barrier wall to go over it to get to the inauguration stage, I heard a whisper, and it was like, Shane, this is dangerous. And in that moment, I stopped and I thought, well, you know, why am I here? Why is it worth me going over this wall? Just to see what's going on. And I thought about, you know,
was it worth it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
Absolutely,
about.
Man.
That's what I'm talking
Absolutely.
about, bro. That's what I say on my bio. It says, yes, I'm a J6er, or yes, I voted for Trump. Yes, I'm a J6er, and no, I regret nothing.
I mean, you know, I was talking to people the other day, and I was like, you know, getting to share the gospel and watching Scott get close in his relationship with God, and then Lego Man, like people that I got to minister to and share the gospel with, like, absolutely. Like if just one of those people like accepts Jesus Christ or has a better relationship because of that, that makes it all worth it. So all the other extra stuff is what it is, but I would do it all over again, unfortunately.
Big facts. I agree.
This is history, and I'm here for my children. And for my great-grandchildren, the future of this country. I didn't know what was going to transpire, but I knew that it was God or the Holy Spirit telling me that this is dangerous where you're going. And so I chose to continue on over the wall. And whenever I got up over the wall, I made my way up to what's called the Lower West Tunnel. It's where the tunnel where the president walks out of whenever he gets inaugurated.
The Battle of the West Tunnel.
And there's a ledge and there's a window to the left of it. And that's where I made my way up to. And I got up on the ledge, and I was filming and watching. And if you saw some of the videos, you may have seen me there.
I saw the video.
Just watching I was watching for a while, but what I noticed was people, the tunnel was filled up with police. What I didn't know was prior to that, the crowd had made their way all the way into the tunnel, and the cops had like bludgeoned them all the way out and rolled people up into a dog pile and kicked them all out of the tunnel. So I was kind of late to the show, right? So, but what I witnessed when I was on that ledge was people getting hit with billy clubs, and I saw an old man that was coming out of the tunnel, and he had like a mesh hat on, like a trucker hat, and he was just pouring blood down the side of his head. And what I hadn't seen any protester take direct action against a police officer. And so I was like, what is going on? Like I saw these people getting hurt, and I'm like, why are the police doing this? And I hadn't seen any actions thus far that I thought nobody had done anything directly to a police officer. So in my mind, as the situation developed, it was a time that I was there on that ledge. It was quite a bit of time, but my thinking was, if they're trying to go through these police to get into the building, we know on the other side they're letting people in, then why don't we just go through the window? The window is not going to feel any pain. We could just go in the building through the window, and that's a path of least resistance. And I know it may have been, it probably was the wrong decision, and it's a really bad optic look for somebody, especially confessing to be a Christian. But I figured break a window instead of somebody getting hurt or a police officer.
break a window instead of breaking a leg, huh? I agree. I agree with you,
breaking
bro.
somebody's face.
I agree with you. I'm not mad at you for that. That was good. You said I'm not hurting nobody. I'm just hurting a window. What'd you say? You said how'd you say it?
When? Just
Right now. You says
oh yeah, if you're not breaking somebody's face, you're breaking them. It's just
there you
property.
go. Yeah.
You can
real.
replace a window. You can't replace a life, or people are getting felonies punching cops, so better to go through a window. At least I'm the only one getting in trouble for that. Like,
people got felonies for thinking about punching the police. It was crazy. Nuts.
Officer getting hurt to go into the building. So
see, we only saw the police officer standing down. I didn't see any video where the police officers were being aggressive with the riders. I only saw.
This is one of the parts that pissed me off when I was watching this. I'm like, this brother is lying right now. Ain't no way you didn't see the videos of the police beating up on people at the Capitol, bro. If you've seen all these other videos, you've seen Shane with the tomahawk, well, then you obviously seen police officers putting their hands on people because that was all happening at the same time.
Did you see the guy shoot Ashley Babbitt?
Exactly. And yeah, he acted like he didn't know none of that. But yet he believed that officers lost their lives that day. But you didn't see no officers lose their lives that day. How come you didn't see that either? But you believe it. It's just little things like that, man. Willie, you dropped the ball, Willie.
Police officers standing down and looking almost like they were like, come this way, guys. Come on, come through this way. And just looking off like it appeared to me that some of the cops that were there were kind of in on what was going on. That's what it appeared to me. Now, when you look back at all of this, everything first of all, how many years did you do in prison before Trump pardoned you?
I did 1,418 days or 46 and a half months.
46 and a half months. Okay. So looking back, do you believe that storming the Capitol on the 6th of January 2021 helped you achieve your political goals?
See, that right there pissed me off. First off, wasn't no political goals, okay? There was no political goals. And what do you mean storm the Capitol? We didn't storm the Capitol, okay? That's not what happened. We did not storm the Capitol. We protested and people defended themselves. Most people defended themselves. Other people, they did what they did. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about you because he was talking to you. Yeah. And I disagree. You didn't have a political goal. We're not there to get Nancy Pelosi. We weren't there to do any of those. That's not what we was there to do. We was there to protest and things got out of control. But he keeps on inserting his, trying to paint the narrative. And it just.
But if you look at it, though, if you think about what he's saying, like, did it help to push the political agenda? But if you look at the way the government overreacted and crushed us, and then that played into, I don't want to call it propaganda, but that played into Trump getting reelected because now you've got this J6 hostage, political prisoner class, and all these things.
Spotlight
and now
shined on it.
Yeah, because they overreacted, and it takes, like they say, what do they say? It takes a lie is easy to tell, and it takes the truth a long time to get its pants on and get lies already made it around the world a bunch of times. Slowly, the truth started coming out, and eventually,
we talked about that when we was locked up. Remember when some of us would get discouraged, and you were always one of the ones too, bro, to help build morale, especially with me, bro. Real talk. You was like.
But there was times where
I was in a dark spot. Yeah, I was in a dark spot, and you would come up and be like, "Listen, man, we're gonna. Right now, you can't see it, but this is gonna change things. We're shining a spotlight on things. It's a sacrifice. Yes, it sucks. Yes, I might have to do 14 years in prison, but you know what? We're showing the American people something." And I'm like, "Yeah, Shane, you're right. Let's do it again." No. Okay, that part I'm lying. I didn't say that. but that's how I was hyped up though. You literally you boosted morale a couple times for me, bro. I mean, we did it for each other, but you were there for me in a couple dark spots where I'm just I'm questioning everything, especially when I was getting pissed off about who would let me apologize publicly. Mike Lindell, I apologize because I doubted you, dog. I was so mad at you every single time I seen you come. Yo, the 2 more weeks started driving me crazy, bro. It started driving me crazy.
We got a lawsuit. We're going before the Supreme Court.
Bro.
2 more weeks. We're going to expose election interference. And
And then I get
I love
sucked right
Mike
back in
Lindell,
after I got out of it. And I'm like, you know what? Whatever. I don't even care anymore. And then you will come in there. Cash, look at this. Look at this. And then I'll look and then I'll wait. And then sure enough, another letdown. And I was just so mad, bro, just over it with Mike Lindell and Stephen Bannon. And then, I'm like, man, forget these dudes. But they were right about a whole lot, dog. Especially now, like seeing everything coming out, they were right about a whole lot. So, Mike, I apologize, man. And I love your pillows. I love your pillows.
You know what else, though? Like, I think about it, man. I was talking to Megs. I had bad days, but, man, that was something that watching guys go through losing loved ones, like, I watched through people go through divorces. I watched, like, Caldwell and Mellis lost parents. People are losing their homes, losing businesses. I watched people's, like Reffitt's kids testify against them at trial. Like, there was just a lot of, it was traumatizing. But my faith in Christ gave me hope that, like, and I listened to a Cowboy Logic interview I did like 2 years ago, and it's like God is going to take what the devil meant to use to destroy us, and he's going to work through that, and he's going to make something beautiful out of it. And that's why why we're sitting right where we're sitting today, is because that's what God is doing.
Just like Joseph. What Joseph say? Joseph told his brothers the same thing. He's like, look, no, don't cry. Don't cry. You didn't do this. What you meant for evil, God meant for good. And that's exactly what I be saying now too, bro. And the thing about the journey that we went through in that place, like I had some moments, bro, where I wanted to freak out, lose it. Like I was clinging on to every little bit of hope that I could have, bro. It was real hard being there because it was the same four walls, and then when you leave your little 4-wall cell, you go outside into the bigger, to the day room. It's just more blank walls with rust and mold, and it's just like, oh God, get me out of here. And then watching the TV, trying to make sure that we could watch our shows. Remember how mad we would get when the COs would make us, because you was on detail with me. Some new COs would come in and try to make us go in our cell, and we would be like, nah, bro, we ain't going in our cell, bro. We watching Alone, bro.
Alone, we'd be up till 2 or 3 in the morning watching Alone.
Yeah, man.
Or Bachelor in Paradise or whatever.
Yes, Bachelor in Paradise. You guys used to kill me with that. It'll come on the same time as wrestling, and y'all know I'm a wrestling fanatic. Y'all just bogart the TV. I got to go to the broke TV in the back because nobody wanted to watch wrestling, and which was shocking to me. I'm like, these is a bunch of white guys. Who don't like wrestling in here? Like, what's going on? Y'all watching the black shows. I'm watching the shows that the white people supposed to watch because that's how it was when I went to prison. When I got to real prison.
Men in tights, dude. Punks and trunks. That's a thing.
Yo, Shane. When I went to prison, it was the same exact thing, just reversed. Because you're with your color, right? So I'm watching the black TV. I'm like, yo, wrestling's coming on. They're like, oh nah, bro, you got to watch the white TV over you. You got to turn your chair. That's the white people TV. They watch that. We don't watch that.
That's right. Thug life. No wrestling over here.
Oh man, dog, it was great. It was great. Let me keep going with this interview, man.
Or do you believe that ultimately it hurt your cause?
In the short run, like right after that was the thing that was used to smear the Republican Party and to smear Donald Trump. And I didn't go to the Capitol because Donald Trump sent me to the Capitol to storm the Capitol. I didn't even go to the Capitol to storm the Capitol. I didn't even know. I couldn't have told you on January 6th what an insurrection was. And so I went to go protest. And I ran up on a situation that quickly devolved into chaos. And, I do believe that after that day, it did really tarnish the MAGA movement and Donald Trump. But the thing for me I'm accountable for my own actions, right? Like I'm a firm believer. Like I broke the window, I got 3 assaults on federal officers. I can handle that. Whether now my reasoning for behind the assaults and stuff like that were I'm witnessing people be beat, and I had been told over a megaphone that somebody had been shot and killed unarmed inside the Capitol. And that is true. And what a lot of people also don't know is that 4 protesters died on Capitol grounds that day. That's not something that's just broadly published. But today you can go look that up and find that out. And I could show you all kinds of video of police officers shooting rubber bullets head high at eye level. They were launching flashbangs and tear gas into a crowd that's peacefully milling about, not doing anything. There was officers with pepper ball guns, like a paintball, shooting just random people in the crowd with paintballs. And I'm not one to sit idly by whenever I witness people being brutalized. It doesn't matter if it's by, just civilian on civilian, or if it's police on civilian. I'm not okay with that. And so whenever I found out somebody had been killed inside, and I had been bludgeoned and pepper sprayed 4 times when I had taken no action against the police. And so,
you mean at the Capitol?
Yeah, at the Capitol. So after the window incident, when I hit the window, people started going, no, we don't do that, right? And I was like, okay. So the crowd was not with that, right? So I put the tomahawk up, and I was like, well, they don't want to do that. Well, I'm going to go in the tunnel and see why these people are being hurt in there. And so I made my way through the crowd, and it was like you've had big concerts before. It would be like trying to move from the back of the floor to the front of the floor. It's just like shoulder to shoulder. You just got to work your way through there. Well, as I'm working my way through the crowd, just to get up to the front of the police line, I get pepper sprayed in the face 4 times. And I've done nothing to anyone. I'm probably 20, 30 feet from the police, and I'm getting pepper sprayed. And then when I finally get up close enough, I have to turn around and put my hoodie up over my head and work my way through the crowd backwards. When I do get up to the police, I get hit from behind with a baton. And clearly with my back turned, I didn't do anything to the police. Come to find out, this officer's name was he's Commander Bagshaw from the DC Police.
Piece of trash.
And there was a woman right next to me who I found out later was named Victoria White, but he struck her in the head with the same baton 30 plus times. And she never took a direct aggressive action against him at all. As a matter of fact, you can hear her on video. Stop, please. What are you doing? And that's the same officer that hit me from behind. And so after that happened,
Hold on. Let me pause you real quick, Shane. Let me pull up both of us real quick. I want to address this comment. Sorry to pause the interview, everybody, but this kind of stuff. Black warrior spirit. First off, brother, we love you, bro. We love you, bro. You coming in here and saying that just lets me know where your mind's at. If you got a black warrior spirit, I don't think you mean by your skin color because of this comment. I think you mean black warrior spirit in the sense of you got a demon, dark spirit right now about you, brother. Come in here and make that kind of comment, because this brother that you just said that about him being a loyal enemy, will give you the shirt off his back, will stand toe-to-toe with you if somebody was violating your rights or treating you unfairly. I know that personally. I did time with this brother. He's a good brother. You know what I'm saying? And for you to come in here and say something like that, man, you should be ashamed of yourself, bro. Real talk.
You know what I think about? They say enemy. That's what the machine wants, is they can keep us divided. You say I'm an enemy, and I don't even know you. How are you going to be my enemy? So if they can keep us divided, then they can keep splitting the wealth at the top of the pyramid and all that. So it's the sooner we work out our differences and understand that I don't have a problem with you. I don't care if you're black, white, brown, green, purple. It doesn't matter to me. I want what's best for the American people. So I don't know how I'm an enemy, but hey, Cash, if I join the chat, like log into my YouTube, is that going to cut my camera off or?
Nah, you should still be straight. Right. You're good. If I was you, I would use your phone and just be on your phone and texting in the comments. That's what I do. I do this too. But
I'm trying to learn all this stuff, this fancy what's the lie?
Yo, I'm gonna get back to it, right? He said, give us our reparations. Bruh, give who the reparate? Well, Shane's Irish, right? Scottish, something like that. He got the red hair. He should get reparations too, because his ancestors was on the field right next to the black people. So if there's gonna be reparations given, it's got to be given to all the people that used to be, come from slaves. Got to be that. And then who's gonna pay them? How you know that your great-great-grandmama wasn't a slave owner in Louisiana? Because there was a whole bunch of them, black women who were slave owners. But we getting sidetracked. I'm not even going to do that with you, my bro. Black warrior spirit, we still love you even though you're an ignorant mother lover. See, I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to do better, not cursing people out in my chat. You know what I'm saying? I've been trying to be YouTube friendly. And I've been trying to be a kingdom citizen, man, and keep Christ right first in my heart. So I'm not even going to say what I would really say to you, brother. Instead, I'm going to do the Christian thing, right? And I'm just going to say this. Bless your heart. That's what this old lady used to say every time somebody make her mad in church. Oh, Lord bless them. Bless your heart. Bless your heart, brother.
I got hit in the head. Somebody popped some kind of tear gas or something in the tunnel, and I couldn't breathe. And so I climbed basically up over the crowd and out of the tunnel. And when I made my way back to the ledge where I was at before, a guy who I later came to know as Ryan Nichols. He was in the DC jail with me for 32
Shout out
months.
to my bro.
He got on the megaphone and said, "Hey, my dad just texted me. Somebody's been shot and killed unarmed inside the Capitol." And so people at that point were like, now they're killing people. Now this is a whole nother level of, they're in our eyes, they're stealing the election. They're assaulting people. I've been assaulted. You know what I mean? I've been hit from behind with a baton. Now they're killing people inside the Capitol. And I was like,
you got assaulted and peppered.
And I'm watching it still, people getting brutalized. And I'm like, as far as at that moment in time, I pretty much snapped and lost my cool. And I just went down to the stairs at the foot of the tunnel. And I started throwing sticks and whatever I could, pieces of crutches, a desk drawer, like all kinds of stuff that you could see on video that I was throwing. But,
Hold on a second.
and I did 30.
Go ahead.
My judge at one of my hearings, he was like, "Mr. Jenkins," he goes, I don't know if you always carry a desk drawer around with you in your backpack, but it's rather odd that you came up with a desk drawer out of nowhere." And I couldn't say anything else.
I would have been like, "Well, Judge, my grandma always told me that it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it."
Yeah. If I would have had the kitchen sink, I would have thrown it too, but I didn't.
Hey, real talk, man. People don't understand how it was that day. Like, them police they were wrong, bro. They were wrong. Plain and simple. It's not like these was good cops trying to do their job, which there were some that were good cops that were on the inside that didn't have nothing to do with it, right? But the ones on the outside, they was there for the business. They was there for the business, bro. There's no... Remember, who was it? That was Fanon, right? That video that we seen when we were inside, when we had in DC DOC, when they were showing us the footage. Was that him that was saying, we're gearing up and getting ready to go F up some Trump supporters?
Yeah, he was like, "Get out of the way, like I'm coming." That's how he came up to the front of the tunnel. He's like, I'm going up here I'm getting some, brother. Like, okay, yeah. And he went out there and
then when he got there, when he got in front of Congress, this is what he did. "My life is in jeopardy. So Tommy Civic, he took my microphone." Did one of those, He played the role. Him and big old, what's his name? Harry Dunn. That big old boy. I didn't know that he didn't have ankles, dog, until I seen Brandon Fellows run up on him and got the interview. Oh, dog, I was cracking up when I seen that video. I said, yo, my man Harry don't even got ankles. He's about to fall. If this earth shakes a little bit, he's done. He's done for, bro. He has no ankles. It was crazy.
And he's got cankles.
Yeah, I'm telling you, bro.
2 months in the DC jail with people that were Marines, Navy, Air Force, Airborne Rangers, Special Forces, Green Berets. And these guys are trained, by the military. And they are in jail for assaulting police officers. I know a guy who, Thomas Webster, did 30 years as a honorable service as an NYPD officer, Webster, 10 years on the governor's detail in New York and NYPD. And he got 10 years for assaulting a DC cop because he saw the cop hit a woman, and then he retaliated against the cop because he's like, "What are you doing?" and attacked the cop. He gets 10 years in prison for it. So these guys that are trained military and police that are witnessing the same type of thing, I probably know out of all the people that I spent time with in the DC jail, probably out of 100 men, 2 of them I witnessed on video going after the police, just going hard just for the sake of going hard. The other people, like 99% of them, have a story like, "Well, I witnessed this woman get pushed down the stairs." And I could show you some of these stories. Get pushed down the stairs, then they react. Or somebody next to them gets hit with the baton in the head, and they're like, "Hey, what are you doing?" and go after the police. And then now you're going to jail for assaulting a federal officer. And you were, not only that, you were defending somebody, but now you're an insurrectionist. Now you're a domestic terrorist. Like, they'd make it into this big deal. Like, I'm not a domestic terrorist, man. I went to a rally, and at worst, it got out of control. You know what I mean? But they made us these big, they messed up because at first, like you asked me before, it was really, really bad for the movement. But as it continued to, they say that it takes a long time for the truth to get out. But once you start breaking down these videos and you start looking at this stuff, and we had 32 months in the DC jail with access to 16,000 hours of video, and we started watching all these videos, and we could show you, like, this happened and then this happened. We could break down timelines, and we started smuggling out footage and getting it out to the news and the different people that wanted to show the truth, because some people didn't want to show the truth.
Facts.
But we started.
Hey, Shane. Do you remember what video? Do you remember what video got shared first? That
your video where it was showing the crowd getting attacked, right? Wasn't it?
And remember the domino effect that had? Oh, yeah. That's what I wanted you to say. Okay, so before we keep going, can you say thank you, bro? Because the people that are watching us right now, and I meant to ask all the brothers to do this, man, because you remember when they was not putting the air on inside of DC DOC, and then I put that little tweet out on the tablet. And I had Sergeant Robinson came in and asked me to call and tell my people to please quit calling the jail. And the air got turned on that day. Bro, they tied up the phone lines. From Sergeant Robinson told me that they tied up the phone lines, that they had to quit answering the phone. Like, they couldn't take any calls because it was calls of people that were watching us right now, people that are in this chat right now, calling up there. When I first told this story, people in the chat was saying, yeah, I called that day. I called that day. I called that day. So thank you all again for that, man, because it was little things like that y'all did that made our life a little bit easier. And the reason we were up in arms about the air, it wasn't necessarily even because of us. It's because we had Lonnie Kaufman, and he looked like he was suffering, man, in that heat.
Man.
You remember that?
Yeah.
It was
like
crazy, man.
In there.
Yeah, it was bad, bro. So shout out to the chat, man, and everybody who helped us out while we was in there, man. We appreciate y'all. Love you guys.
Hey, you know that they seriously miscalculated when they put us all in there together, bro. They because you had a big following, but all of our families got organized.
You amassed a huge following inside of prison. That's what's crazy.
All the mail.
Dog, you were like, you were him when we was locked up, bro. I don't know what you did, but you amassed a huge following. Like, you had more mail than everyone. And I had a lot of mail. You had more than literally everybody, bro. It was crazy. You had, remember they brought the bins in for all of us when we all had, they had bins of mail, and they got mad because your whole room was straight mail, bro. And then when they came in and they tore our cells up, yeah. Remember when they tore our cells up and they threw all your mail like everywhere? Like, yeah, I remember all of that, bro. That was crazy. Good times. Good times. I went
through a lot of that. Remember my soap shelves in there that I made?
Yes.
Like the medicine cabinet out of bars of soap and stuck them
crafty. You're a crafty individual. I remember that. Well, see, that was the perks of being on detail. We would literally stock up I think you were the first one to do that too, bro. Yeah, you were the first person to build. This man built shelves, literally shelves in his cell made out of soap that was just stacked up, man. And it looked so nice. It was like an office. I'm like, man, this isn't even a cell anymore. This is like he got like a little room, man, going on in here. It was pretty cool. He had pictures, and I'm like, look at this guy.
You know what I forgot about? I interviewed you in there. I've got to get the USB drive, but I still got that interview. We got to release that whenever I get it.
I'm down. So, let's do it.
I got
some good, man. Bro, I'm glad we went through all of that together. I ain't gonna lie. It's a blessing, bro. Built bonds that's gonna last forever. You know what I mean? Yeah. Got brothers forever.
It's an honor to suffer alongside y'all.
Yeah, let's get back to it before I get emotional. You know, I'm light skinned like Drake. Not as light, but
started to change that narrative, and eventually people came to see that the government had been weaponized, the DOJ had been weaponized, and they came after us full bore like we had an intentional plan to overthrow the government, and we didn't.
Did you see any police officers get killed yourself?
Absolutely not. Zero. That's the thing. Forever it was 12 officers died that day, or 15 officers died that day. 0 officers died that day. 1 died the next day, Brian Sicknick, and the medical examiner will tell you in his report it says it had 0 to do with January the 6th. And so then they try to say, well, all these officers committed suicide as a result of January 6th. I have yet to see what the evidence was that it was anyway correlated to January the 6th. So I'm not for violence against police officers, but I'm also not for violence against citizens. And I think that, right is right and wrong is wrong, and
what do you think would have happened?
This right here, you guys, this is the question this is the main question I wanted to get to. I'll end it after this question, and you guys could just watch the full interview on your own. But this question that he is about to ask Shane, it pissed me off, man. It pissed me off. It really did. He just got done hearing about people that passed away, all right, from January 6th. And then listen to the question that this man is about to ask him.
If you would flip the the skin tone, the skin color of the riders, if those were 1,100 black riders, we know it was a couple of black people there, about 3. What do you think would have happened if it would have been 1,100 black people storming the Capitol and, swinging on the police and actually penetrating the Capitol walls and windows and doors, going inside, and pissing on would they even had gotten that far?
Okay, so with that, listen, it pissed me off that he even asked this question, number one, and then says we said that this was going to be like an urban legend when we were locked up about somebody doodling on Nancy Pelosi's desk. People still think that happened. It didn't happen. There was no doo-doo on Nancy Pelosi's desk. Nobody peed on her desk. That's not a real thing. It didn't happen.
I wish I would have done that.
Right.
Maybe, I don't know.
I'm telling you, but Willie D asked this question and it just made me think. It's like this brother was not paying attention in 2020 when people literally, and more people that look like me, right? And some people that look like you just dressed in black mask, right? Was out there flipping over cop cars, setting federal buildings on fire. You had all types of disaster going on across the country. And what was it? Was it Seattle? Where they took over the city blocks?
Chaz.
Chop. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah,
you forget about all this? The police was told to stand down. They said don't even go within a 6-block radius of that ward, that little zone that they created. But he's sitting up here talking about what would have happened, what you think would have happened if the skin tones was reversed. What? I would have, you know what? I wish I would have been there with you in this part of the, because I would have got going. Do you not remember when the black ladies went inside the Capitol and literally let off a bomb? Like that happened.
The Weather Underground. Yeah, the Weather Underground.
That happened. What do you mean, bro?
The Puerto Rican people they shot some people inside the Capitol. Remember that? They shot a Congress.
That's what I'm trying to say. But none of these things is in his mind because he's been brainwashed. Either he's been brainwashed or he's in on the play. You know what I'm saying? Of keeping up the division, which I think the latter is more likely because I watch his content. I watch Willie D. I watch a lot of his stuff, and a lot of his stuff, I'm like, ain't no way this dude believes this. It's
clickbait though. A lot of it's clickbait. His audience wants him to approach it from this angle. So I get it because I've read the comments on his.
Yeah,
YouTube,
bro, a bunch of hate
there. But some people are like, man, I'm glad I was surprised by the amount of people that were supportive of. And I appreciated, I will say this about Willie D. I did appreciate having the conversation because I feel like later on in the interview,
100%.
I feel like we win him over.
Yeah, I like Willie D. Don't get me wrong. I just hate his take. I like Willie D. I just hate his take. You know what I'm saying? If I seen Willie D, I would try to dap him up like, brother, hey, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You old school and you're a legend. But I hate your politics, bro. I hate it. It's like you're causing more of the divide. But this interview, you're right. I think that it did help to, bridge part of that gap, man, and bring people to understanding each other more. You know what I'm saying? There was another part of this video that I'm not going to get to. I've been had you on here for 43 minutes already. But there's another part of the video. I want everybody to watch this interview. Go and show Willie D some support because he did give the platform for Shane to jump on there and tell his side of the story, man. So that's dope. Go watch the interview. But he said something about black people or white people being so angry. He said, why are where's it at? I got it marked down. I'm just going to play the clip.
I'm not in a hurry too. If you want to stay on, I'm not.
We chilling then. Let's just keep listening.
Right.
What do you think would have happened?
No, I mean that's a valid question because we know that law enforcement can get out of hand. I think I'm familiar with the song called "Crooked Officer." I don't know if somebody wrote that song.
Bro,
I don't know when that was, but I've heard
that right there, bro. I'm like, Shane, that was just perfect, bro. Perfect.
You got a clip of that song you can play?
Nah, I will get hit. We'll get a copyright, so I'm not gonna play it. But bro, that was so massive. Yeah, when you said that, dog, I literally jumped back in my seat. I'm like, no, he didn't. Good job, Shane. That was good, dog. That was
just showed his reaction face. Like what?
I'm about to.
Heard it before, so
right.
But I think that I will say this: 4 protesters died at the Capitol that day as a result of the police action. So I would say that we got it just like anybody else would get it. I can't speculate on what it would be, but I can't say that it would be good. I don't know.
I can tell you what would have happened.
Right.
If that had been 1,100 black people protesting for their constitutional rights to be upheld by their government,
Right.
they would have killed every mother out there. As many.
Well, then answer me this, Willie. Willie, how come if that's Willie? Listen to me. Let me get the full. Willie, if that's true, Willie, how come nobody got taken out in 2020? I need to know. I need to know, Willie, from me to you. Do you not remember 20? You might not remember. You are old. You might have forgot. You might got that Joe Biden disease right now going on. I hope not. God forbid that you got that. But something's going on for you not to recall what happened in 2020, Willie. I'm saying. Am I wrong, Shane?
No, you're not wrong.
Like, that's what I mean about the whole, misinformation. This brother, let's just add fuel to the fire of all the people that believe that racism is still heavy in America and that white people get treated differently than black people by the police when they commit a crime. Let's keep on adding that fuel to that fire. That's how I feel like he's, you know what I'm saying? Because I know tons of white people that don't get no love from the police, dog. I'm telling you that right now. They get, it's literally a cultural thing. Like, yo, you trailer park? Oh, you gangbanging. Oh, you got tattoos. You fit the part. So, you know what I'm saying? And then I know some straight edge black dudes that don't get it from the police. If they get pulled over, the police look at him and be like, oh, okay, he's all right. Look at him. He's harmless. This is Carlton. You know what I'm saying? And it literally they look at it like that. Now, do we have some really messed up police officers out there in the world? 100%. I was locked up with one. I understand that we got some crooked cops in the world. But for this man to sit up here and make it like black people get it worse than white people when they commit acts of violence, I disagree. I disagree. I think everybody gets it from a rational cop, not taking color out of it, from a rational police officer. You're going to get the same reaction if you're doing something that is criminal. The police officer is going to treat you as such. Now, argument can be made. Black people do get locked up more. I can't hide that one. That's true. We do get profiled more. I'll say that.
I've been locked up more than you, I think, maybe.
You have. But you know what, Shane? You's a real ninja, bro. That's what that is. You know what I'm saying?
Me, Jenkins.
I'm leaning. I'm going the other way now. You know what I'm saying? I don't even think I'm hood no more. I don't think it's there. Only sometimes when I get angry. I'm just a regular American dad now.
Yeah.
I'll be saying stuff while I walk around the house. Conflab it. I'll say stuff like that now. It's just,
Dadgummit. Gosh darn it.
Get off my grass.
Check this. Do you know? I thought I heard somewhere that the Black Panthers descended on the Capitol at some point and they were all armed before guns were illegal in DC. Have you heard of that before? And
I don't know. You know what? I think I did hear that before.
But I don't think any of them got killed. He said it like if a bunch of black people just showed up, they would all got slaughtered. Now,
which is a lie. BLM was at the Capitol. That's what he ain't saying that. Literally, BLM went to the Capitol and they stood toe to toe. Police didn't do nothing. They didn't do nothing at all. So it's like,
well, they attacked, Antifa and all them attacked the White House and injured like 150 Secret Service, and they were like going hard, and they didn't kill any of them.
That's my point. And it just pisses me off because you know me, dog. I hate racism from either side. I don't care who it is. I don't like racism. Now, nationalism, I'm okay with, America's dope. Of course, it's okay to be a nationalist. I don't like when they talk about race because there is no such thing as race. It's just a bunch of humans, men of different hues. That's it. We divided ourselves up by nations that you live in. Obviously, that's just a thing. But color, you can't discriminate somebody for their color or judge them based off of their color. I don't think that Irish people drink all the time. You know what I'm saying? Just because they Irish. I don't think that every black person is a criminal. I don't think that all Polish people, aren't smart. I don't think that. You know what I'm saying? I think those things, but we have jokes based around them. But I don't believe them. All right. Hell, I just think we got to get past it. And Willie D adds to the divide, man, when he says stuff like that. That's it. It
That's
pissed
what
me
I wanted
off.
to say. I'm racist, but human racist. Like, I don't, it's not about, like, we're one human. It's the human race.
Screw fishes like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't like lions, you know? Like human power. that kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just,
Human power.
I don't know. Yeah, it's dumb. It's stupid, man. Just keep going.
That's why, Carol, we are all God's children.
That's right.
It would have been a lot more than 4 people that would have been killed.
Right.
Because, you know, let's face it, U.S. cops are a lot more aggressive when it comes to black people not complying.
Right.
You know, and I saw a lot of people not it wasn't even about complying. It was people knocking the police over, walking right by the police, going up the halls, just pretty much just taking over. And some dude, was it Nancy Pelosi's office? The dude took a leak. Was that Nancy Pelosi's
I don't think that actually, but there was a dude that had his feet up on her desk. Big O.
Somebody
Big
took
O.
a leak somewhere. I mean, I can't remember, but I mean, just they pretty much desecrated it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like I'm
What?
like,
He said somebody took a leak on Nancy Pelosi.
I'm telling you, bro. I think it was Ronnie, man. Ronnie started that rumor, bro. Ronnie started that rumor, dog. He said it too, and we was like that. Ronnie's like, bro, this is gonna go down as folklore of January 6th. That's what Ronnie said, dog. This is gonna go down as folklore of January 6th. Somebody took a doo-doo on Nancy Pelosi's desk.
That dude is a character right there.
He's hilarious, dog. Ronnie Sandlin is funny as ever, bro. Straight up. Shout out to him and Peter Sager. You know, they're doing their own podcast and stuff now too.
Ronnie and Peter?
Yeah, Ronnie and Peter.
That's
They got a
funny.
nice studio set up and everything, bro. It's
They're
pretty
like
dope.
the two whitest Mexican guys I know that are doing.
Yeah, oh yeah, they both are Mexican. That's right. I be forgetting that Peter's Mexican. Well, he's not. He's an American. He descends from Mexicans. We could say that.
I love Steger, man.
All day long. One of the best brothers that I know. He's a good dude, good heart,
people.
everything, good vibe.
Ronnie's okay too, but I love Steger.
Ronnie's hilarious, but he's a jerk, but he's hilarious. Straight
He's
up.
a troll.
Yeah, he's funny as hell though, bro. He is literally Ronnie. I have everybody cracking up. I gotta see if they want to come on, man, and do a show or something.
Sure.
But yeah, let me keep this thing rolling.
you know, this when I saw it, I was like, man, this is wild.
Mm-hmm. Can we agree that the proper number of people that should have died was 0? Either way you frame that question right there, like
that is true. But we know that, you know, America rules with an iron fist, and you know, it's a violent country, man. Come on, man. Yeah. We got to just keep it real. We got to keep it a buck. We live in a very violent place, and you know, we live in a type of country that we believe more so in punishment than we do, you know, rehabilitation and giving people a chance.
That's real.
You know, because that's the first thing that comes to our minds when we see somebody commit a transgression or wrong. We go, oh, lock them up. Right. Oh, they need to do 100 years. They need to do 20 years and 50 years. It doesn't matter who it is. We just be like, yo, get them. Right. Punish them. We see red automatically, and we don't see the humanity in each other.
That's right.
So that's what I see a lot of times, because I personally don't think that we're going to get there if we don't get there together. Like if we all don't get there, ain't none of us going to get there.
I agree with that.
You know what I'm saying? Because all of us want to get there, right?
Right.
So everybody's going to fight just as hard to get there as the next guy, right? So, you know, that's the way I'm looking at it. When all of this stuff went down, at any point did you think about your kids, like your actions, you know, how your actions would affect your kids, or did it not really strike you until you actually?
Yo, I like how he takes you on this little roller coaster, bro. He reels you in with some deep stuff first, and then he hits you with the family question, and then he goes right back to, yeah, what's up with white people, man? Why y'all so angry, man? All you crickety crackers, y'all are just so angry all the time. Yeah. Hey, you showed up with the tomahawk, man. You know. Tell me more about Jesus. Hold on, wait a minute. What kind of flowers do you prefer? Do you like roses? Okay. So what was going through your head when you was bashing police officers? He's just taking you up and down this little thing. I'm like, yo, where's this dude? He's a great moderator because this is good. I wasn't expecting you to ask that question. You know what I'm saying?
That was good.
They ended up convicted and had to do time.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is it wasn't premeditated. So it was like, and people, and this is something that you haven't asked me, but people may be like, how did this guy, why, if you didn't have a plan to do something that day, why would you carry a tomahawk with you, right? And so they had several rallies in D.C. prior to this rally since the election, November 3rd, I believe the election was 2021, or November 3rd, 2020, sorry. And they'd had rallies like November and a couple in December. And
I was there.
And at those rallies, people, DC's a dangerous city, Chopper City. And then
I was a keynote speaker in December 12th.
Oh, yeah.
In Washington, D.C. Yes, singing the national anthem on the stage over there, right next to the Washington Monument. Was it Freedom Plaza, whatever it was called? Yeah, I did that. It was awesome. It was great. Shout out to the Proud Boys. Had my back that day.
But people had been stabbed, people had been robbed, people had been jumped. So they told us, whenever you guys are going to D.C., like, be prepared because it's a dangerous city. And they expected Antifa or counter protesters to be trying to separate. The theory was, and I believe that it came true, was that Antifa and these counter protesters were going to be dressed as Trump supporters, and they were going to be attempting to cull them from the herd, to separate them from everybody else and hurt them or rob them or beat them or do whatever they're going to do to them. So a lot of people came with pepper spray or knives, or they, instead of a flag stick, they had an axe handle or whatever it was, And so
I never asked you this, Shane, but I got to ask you this now. I didn't see no gallows out there, dog. Did you see gallows out there?
Yeah, but the dude that built the gallows was wearing no mask and never went to jail. They wanted to put that dude in jail.
Yeah.
So it had to have been I believe it was a federal deal. There ain't no way. Ain't no way.
Yo, look. That is funny, but you're false. That's false, though, because they did. They literally did. They literally dressed up in MAGA gear and showed up, bro. We ain't lying about it. It's crazy.
If you go back on my Twitter history, I got a letter that the Antifa wrote that was in jail with it. I think his name was Landon Copeland. He's self-avowed Antifa, said he showed up with 18 of his Antifa friends dressed in MAGA gear. So, I mean, whatever.
Yeah.
They played their part.
Well, people were prepared, but what they didn't expect was for the police to be the ones perpetrating violence.
Did you see that?
But so, when I think about it was so spur of the moment that after I had been beaten and then that guy told me, like, hey, they're killing people out here. It was, and witnessing, people being beat. It was so spur of the moment. It wasn't like, I intended to go do that. Because we went and got coffee and snacks before we even went up there. And it wasn't even, if I was going to go commit an insurrection, I would have went straight from the rally, straight to the Capitol and been burning it down or whatever I was going to do.
Right.
But no, so I didn't think about it in the moment. It was more of a, preservation of people. And I think about like situations that, people are quick to pull out their phone and record stuff. Instead of doing that, like if a cop is, if a cop's hurting somebody and it's over the top and you can see that, then separate them, get in the middle of it, or be like, hey man, you need to chill out, even if that means losing your freedom. For me, that's what that means.
So if you were in Minneapolis,
Minnesota,
when Derek Chauvin had his foot, his knee on George Floyd's neck, you would have intervened.
I think that would have been the wise, because if you say we got to get there together, we got to see the humanity, and that's a man on the ground who ended up dying, and that's a police officer supposed to be protecting and serving. There was nothing that guy was going to do on the ground. Once he had him in handcuffs, he wasn't going anywhere. So why do you need to kneel on his neck? You need to get off of him. And if it meant me going to jail to even to just tackle him or do whatever it was to get him off of him, then George Floyd might be alive. And that's what I think. We've got to see the humanity in each other. Whether George Floyd broke the law or not, we have to take that into consideration, that that's a human being, and what that guy is doing to him is dangerous. And we need to show some sacrificial love and get in there for that man.
Man, you're still the same Shane as you always been,
How do
dog.
you feel
I swear,
about
you the man,
what
bro.
Trump is doing right now in office? Are you satisfied with the actions that he's taking?
Let me answer this one. Hell yeah. Hell yeah, I'm satisfied with everything that Trump is doing in office right now. Willie, you not?
I mean, saved for the fact that he pardoned you.
Right? No,
I know that.
Hey, I'm so thankful for that, man. But I love. We were talking about this prior, but I love a disruptor of the status quo. I don't feel like us being $35 trillion in debt is a good thing. I didn't sign up for that anywhere. I'm sure you didn't sign up for that. For your children and grandchildren to be indebted over or something, sending billions and billions of dollars over to other countries that have nothing to do with us. And so I love the selections of like RFK getting confirmed today and just being somebody that's going to shake up the FDA and the CDC and just take a look at some of these things that they're putting in our bodies, whether it's the foods or the vaccines or whatever it is. So even if I'm not saying do away with vaccines, but I'm saying let's take an honest look at it. If science proves out that it's healthy for you, then it's healthy. But I think it's good to try to break that status quo and change it up and do something different because it hasn't been working. Boy, we're a really divided country, and I think that we can all get back together on common sense, narrow down a tight budget where we're not just wasting money and throwing it out the window. Like we're going to print some more and inflate the value of money again. Like they're taking money out of the taxpayers, and they're supposed to be working for us in DC, and they've been taking advantage of us, trying to tell us what to do and just doing whatever they want to do. So I do like what he's doing. I have a lot of respect for Donald Trump. He did what he said he was going to do in regards to me letting me out of prison. Sometimes I wish he would shut up, but that's just his style. You know what I mean? I can't knock him for that, but I do appreciate him having a outside the box mentality, not being a career politician. So I know he's not everybody's flavor, and I can completely understand it. He gets on my nerves sometimes too. But
moving forward, we are calling Trump the Tangerine Terror. I like that. The Tangerine Terror. Got the Democrats terrified. Oh my God, what's going on? I'm so scared right now. What are they doing? Who are you talking about? You didn't hear what Elon Musk and the Tangerine Terror are doing right now? They got us running scared. They finding out about all our corruption. They telling the American people that we've been screwing them this whole time and proving it. We got
you see all the real estate and all
that.
The real estate and the lawyer searches and the real estate and all the stuff that's showing up on the Google searches in DC, man, that stuff is crazy.
There's 250-year-olds right now, dog.
Getting Social Security.
250 years old, bro. I didn't know. Where is they drinking that adrenochrome, bro? That's right. What it is.
The lizard people,
vampires. Yeah. Dracula's on the voter rolls, dog.
What do you think would happen if people who have opposing political views decided, you know what? They did it. We can do it. And they decided, okay, it's our turn to storm the Capitol because we didn't like the election results. And we feel like our guy got robbed. Our guy got cheated.
I'll show you how to do it.
Now, we're going to go out.
We're going to hold classes. So what you're going to need is
$250 an hour.
And we'll storm the Capitol. Would you be in support of that?
If I had an intentional plan to do so, I would say then by all means handle your business, handle your scandal. But I would say utilize your First Amendment right to protest, organize, and plan protests and do all that. But I wouldn't say, I don't believe that. I believe that the entities that went with the intent of committing violence were either.
Casey. I know you're watching right now, bro. I need you to hurry up and create the shirt, bro. It's in high demand right now. I got it. That's it. The Tangerine Terror. Democrats running scared from the Tangerine Terror. Put that on a shirt, Casey. We need that on our website, bro. Tangerine Terror, bro. All right, you heard it here first, people. I stole it from TikTok, though, from one of the guys I was on live with. So shout out to him. I don't remember your name, but I took it and I'm making a shirt out of it. All right.
Antifa or counter protesters, or they were federal informants or federal agents or whatever. I believe the crowd was provoked and the police were provoked, because there's a lot of books on psychology of the crowd and mass movements of the crowd, the psychology of people. And I think that, I interviewed, there was 3 people in the DC jail with me that were Antifa. And I don't know if you're familiar with Antifa, but they're the ones infiltrating these movements in Minneapolis, and they're the ones burning stuff down and making these things way worse than they need to be. It's not, these things aren't organic. Our country, our government specializes in color revolutions, going to these places and sowing discord and discontent and going and creating these movements that aren't even really organic. You know what I mean? And so,
do you know what is organic? Tangerine Terror. Tangerine Terror is organic. And it's going to be on a t-shirt because Casey's working on it right now.
Is this organic?
Tangerine Terror drink. We got to Tangerine Terror. We got to make that a thing, Casey. I'm serious. We got to do that.
I sat down and spoke to a dude in the jail that said, he told me personally, I went with 18 Antifa members, and he showed me videos of him provoking the police. So these 18 people are over here provoking the police, throwing water bottles at them, cussing at them, calling them pigs, and doing this, that, or the other. And then now what do you think the police are doing? They're getting mad, and so they think, well, these guys are Trump supporters too. So now they're going to take that anger out on the crowd, which not the whole crowd is not these same guys. So it just was a lot of sowing discord. So, I mean, I would say if you are unhappy with what your government's doing, exercise your voice. I would say, because this is stuff that I wasn't aware of. Call your congressman, write letters. Go to the Capitol. You can make an appointment to sit down with your congressman or organize protests, but make sure it's peaceful. I don't think, like they say, violence is never the answer. I think you're going to get a lot further if you get 1 million people in DC on a peaceful protest or a march and a movement like that, and you're going to get people to support you and donate to you and fund you to do that. And I think you'll get a lot farther, but I wouldn't advise going and storming the Capitol. No, not at all.
I read somewhere where you said, you allegedly said that you had.
Where did this come from?
Murder on your mind, or murder in your heart at the time when you went down there and you was.
I have heard that, but I don't
see his face. Look at his face, dog. He know he's lying. He know he's lying. Look, he's trying to set you up for that one. He had the face. He's like, yeah. I heard somewhere. No. I read it. I read it somewhere that you said that you wanted to kill all black. What was it? You said you wanted to.
Did you say you
said you had murder? What was murder on the mind? Maybe.
Is that a Ghetto Boy lyric? Murder on my mind.
Oh, yep. That is.
I don't know where that came from. That was some kind of court document or something like that. I don't know if the DA said that, but I never said I had murder on my mind.
Yeah, but here's what I want to know. Like, I want to know. Why are white guys so angry?
This question. So, Shane. I got a question. I've always, this is a serious question now. This is what he said. This is a serious question. I'm serious. Why are white guys so angry? Let me finish the phrase of what he says. Hold on.
Like this is a serious question, man. I mean, I'd be really wanting to know this because y'all.
Can you tell I've watched this interview like 3 times already? I know what he's gonna say.
All got it made in the United States of America.
Like, white people got it made in the United States of America, right? Hold on.
It's the play is set up for y'all to win.
The play is set up for y'all to win.
Yeah. Even if y'all lose, it's set up for y'all to make a comeback. Y'all, it's like white guys in America, white men in America gets more opportunity than anybody. I think we can all honestly agree to that.
Okay, now we're not doing no more of the interview. This is the part that I wanted to get to right here. This part. I want you guys to go and watch the interview for yourselves, but I really I'm going to elaborate on this one. See, having been the only Negro, right? Well, besides Troy Smocks, but he got there later, and I don't know if he might have been impersonating a black guy.
Philip Anderson too.
Shout out Troy Smocks, brother. I love you. I love you, Colonel. That's a joke. It's a joke. All right. But anyway, check this out. Why are white guys so angry? I mean, think about it. Even when y'all lose, it's set up for y'all to win. It's like y'all can make a comeback. All these things is what he said. Now, the problem I have with this, Willie, is that the man that you're sitting across from grew up blacker than you. Really, you want to be technical when you think about a typical black life, right? In America, Willie, from your own ideology, Shane, you lived it. You lived it, right? And talking about making a comeback is set up for y'all to win. Willie, you richer than both of us. You got more money than most white people, Willie. You've seen more of the world than most of the white people you know, Willie. What are you comparing to? What do you mean? Like, well, I don't understand. So I need to ask you this question, Willie. If you watch this video, I hope you do watch this video, brother. I got a question for you. What did you do to get the success that you have that is different than any of the things that any of the other black people in America could do to be successful? What choices did you make in your life, Willie, that made you successful? Did your color matter? Did your color hinder you from being where you are right now? I don't understand. Why are white men so angry? What makes you, first off, what makes you think that white men are angry? Because of the white people that you know that are angry, Willie? I mean, because I know a lot of white folks, right? Because half my family's white. I know a lot of them. They're not angry. You know who was angry? Me, Willie. Was it my white side? Was my white side what made me angry? Is that what it is? Is that? Oh, that's what it is in the communities. That's what it is. It's our white side because, you know, everybody got a little white in them if you trace it back far enough from the plantation days. So I guess it's the white side of our communities that comes out in full force that causes us to do the things that we do. I guess. I don't know, Willie. I feel like that question was really stupid because you're assuming that white people have an anger problem based off of probably books that you read, maybe some of the music that you wrote, maybe just the movies that you watched. I don't know. But it was a stupid question. Shane, how did you feel when that man asked you that question, dog? And I'm going to play your response, by the way. I'm going to play your response.
I don't even remember what I said, but I think about it. I'm like, are white people killing the most people in America? Maybe they are. I don't know. But I don't think white people. I'm not angry. I'm full of joy. You know what I mean?
But that's the point that I was getting at. It's like when you look at it, and it's not a race thing. I'm not trying to make this a race thing. Everybody that watches, you know how I am, right? But I do deal with the facts. The fact of the matter is, black people, you know, we do commit a lot of violent crimes. You know. Now, I'll say this to be fair, we do have the highest overturn rate. So they say that black people commit 50% of the murders or whatever. Well, when you look at that federal statistic, just to be fair, I'm going to be fair with it. Black people are accountable for 50% of the crime of violent crimes, but get overturned 57% of the time and exonerated, vindicated. Okay, so that's the federal statistic, right? But when you look at it from a state level, now we take the feds out of this. Look at it from a state level, and the numbers are completely different, dog. It's like, okay, all right, we can't excuse this one. You know, you can't excuse this one. And the crazy part is that when you look at it per capita, seeing how small our population is compared to the population of, say, white people in America, unfortunately, per capita, oh man, we up there. You know what I'm saying? We up there, you know?
What if I would that's a kind of a racist question. We're like, why are black people so ghetto, Willie D? Like,
you should have said why. No, you should have hit him back with this.
Racist.
You should have hit him back with this one. Well, I don't know, Willie. Well, I can answer that question if you can answer me this one. Why do black people kill each other so much? That's a real question.
No, it is.
That's a real question. Just a rebuttal. Now, I know that you don't think that way, right? I know you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's not how we are. We ain't no racist people. Yeah. We just look at crime as crime. I don't even like bringing up the black statistics and all of that.
No, I don't either. Yeah.
It's just crime is crime because it's not a person's color that makes them commit a crime. It's black people don't commit crime because they're black. People commit crime because they don't know no better, or they're evil, or they got lack of knowledge. It has nothing to do with a person's color, is my whole point. So why would he ask you that? Anger ain't got nothing to do with a color. Why are you so angry as a white? Why are white guys so angry? Why are black guys so angry?
Yeah. Why are men so angry?
Exactly. Why not? Why? And this is the part of the stuff that pisses me off with Willie D, because I seen the race hustling. That's what that was right there. And he wasn't expecting your response, which was gold. Let me play it. And then I'll be done with it. Because this was brilliant. I listened to a lot of,
I don't even remember what I said. So
it was good. It was real good. Hold on, let me get our screen right. There we go.
Why are y'all so willingly ready to burn this motherfucker down? You know what I'm saying? When y'all got everything, y'all got the deck stacked in y'all favor. Well, why are y'all so angry?
I would say, for me personally, like, I don't think I'm that angry, but I will say this, that
sitting here talking to you today, you don't seem that angry. But when you had that damn tomahawk, putting that tomahawk to work, that tomahawk axe to work,
right?
You seem like you can really tear up some shit.
Well, my motivation was not preservation, but preserving other people's lives. But I would say that my lifestyle has not been a typical white guy's lifestyle. I did 3 years in prison as a juvenile in the state of Texas in the Texas Youth Commission. From the age of 15, I committed aggravated robbery. 16, I was in a car with two guys who shot and killed a person and shot 2 more people. While I was in the car with them, I was convicted under the law of parties and charged with attempted murder. I did 3 years in the Texas Youth Commission in Gainesville State School. I was released at the age of 19. By the age of 20, my mom had married this guy who was violent and beat her and abused her. And one night I came home and he threatened to kill me. Later on that night, him and my mom were fighting. After he had threatened to kill me, I grabbed a gun and I ran upstairs and kicked the door in. And he was laying in bed with a shotgun pointed at the door and shot at me and missed my head by about 6 inches. So
that's how you got off. That's how you.
Yeah. Well, whenever that happened, I ran downstairs and called 911, and I'm on the phone to 911, and I've got a pistol. And my mom comes down there and says, "Hey, he's just trying to scare you. Don't call the cops." And I'm like, "He just shot at me with the 20 gauge shotgun and missed my head by that much. You're crazy." And the 911's like, "Can you get out of the house?" I was like, "My mom is old. She's right here." Well, he comes down the stairs, and he
with the shotgun,
yeah. And he got to the bottom of the stairs, and before he could, it was probably from here to that wall over there. Before he could come around that corner and get me, I just jumped up from behind the counter with my mom right here and started shooting. I shot 11 times, and long story short, he ended up dying on the way to the hospital. So,
how many times you hit him?
I hit him 11 out of 13 times,
damn.
And with a 9mm, and but I was 20 years old. I was a baby, you know what I mean? In my eyes, I was still I had done 3 years in TYC at that point for participating in a gang-related shooting, just being in the car. And then now here I am 20 years old and I've killed my own stepdad, you know?
But that was justified, bro.
I know.
In fact, that was honorable.
No, and I part of me says that. The other part of me is like, that was somebody's dad. That was somebody's son.
No, that was somebody's uncivilized mutt.
That's right. No, and I agree. But it was something that tormented me as a man. Like, part of me, the street side of me was like, he got what he deserved. And the other side of me was like, that was a human life. And so I struggled with that emotionally and spiritually. And after that, I turned real bad to drugs and alcohol because I couldn't cope with reality that I was dealing with. And so that led to like 3 different trips to prison and as an adult in the state of Texas. And so was I angry, man? I was a wounded little boy who found out he was adopted when he was 13 and had an identity crisis and tried to create this persona, listen to the Ghetto Boys and NWA.
Don't blame us, man.
Don't blame us, man. Look, don't blame us, man. But you hit, first off, I know that story. You told me that story when we was locked up, and I was like, dang,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I think that's one of the things that, like, I'm like, okay, me and you, we here, you know what I'm saying? Because you come from the same kind of lifestyle background, you know what I mean? But when you hit him with that part, bro, after that tremendous story, right? You already had him like, dang, you know, and then you bring it right back to the topic of being angry. And it's like, well, you know, I've had an identity crisis. I was listening to the Ghetto Boys, NWA. Oh, don't blame me. Oh, what you can't, but you got to be accountable, brother. You made music that influenced young men, just like a lot of people do. A lot of these artists, and that's why I try to tell people, man, about the power of music. You don't really understand, like, especially somebody that is struggling with an identity crisis, right? You got somebody that don't know who they are and they trying to be like you. What you telling me to do? You telling me to load up the Glock. You telling me to go and hit the block. You telling me to run up on a cop. You telling me all these things. So don't blame me. No, you got some part in this. You helped create Shane Jenkins, Willie D. The old Shane Jenkins. You helped create that. You know, and I think that he realized that. I think he started to realize that because throughout the interview, you can see him more leaning into you. You know what I mean? Yeah. And starting to like just see you for you. And I thought that was the most impressive part, and really was the redemption of Willie D towards the end of the interview for me. Like, we're not even halfway through this interview, and we're not gonna be able to do the whole thing. My wife's probably like, "Where's he at?" But I really wanted to touch that part because, you know, that first off, your story is amazing, bro. And it shows growth, the testimony, you know, of where you came from and the things that you've been through. And that's just a small part. I know more stories that you told me when we was sitting in the cell, you know what I mean? And you know some of mine. And it just adds to the testimony, bro, of who you are. And it shines through, man, seeing you thrive the way that you have with everything that you've been through in life, from prison to prison again, to losing your parents and finding out you're adopted, and drugs and alcohol, and having to defend your mother from your stepfather and defend yourself from your stepfather, and all of these things, bro. And then there you are, you sitting here strong and having a conversation with a legend who we all have listened to, you know, at one point in time, and explaining things and bringing, like, it really was like you were the glue. You started to bring sides together because MAGA already loves you, you know? Yeah. Everybody that I know loves you. And now you got Willie D, who's like, man, at the end of this interview, it gets good because he's like, man, you know, you're something special, bro. You're different. And I think that Trump needs to pay attention. He starts giving you all these accolades, you know? So I think that was amazing, bro. How did you feel, though, sitting there telling him them stories, and then your response when you said that? What went through your head?
No, it was deep, man. I didn't think about it in the moment, but like by the end, you're right. Like you could see that was my focus going in, was, you know, to share the love of Christ first and foremost, but to find the common ground. And I think we can agree that, you know, police brutality is not okay. And then the other common ground was my passion for justice reform with the foundation that I started, and all that is something that definitely anybody from the Black community can relate to. Justice reform, because there's so many justice involved people in the minority communities. But by the end, you know, he was committed to working with me, and I used that phrase he used early on. We both want to do better, but nobody wants to give up their spot to do better. I turned it around and I said, you know, we want to do that. We want to work together to make these communities. I got into commit on the air, and then after the cameras were off and we stopped the interview, I said, man, if you're serious about working together on justice reform, can I call you on that? So he was like, yeah, I'm in. I'm committed to it, and let's do it. So I was stoked about it, man. So it was indeed crazy to be sitting there with a legend, like a rap legend, somebody that I grew up listening to as a teenager. So I give him credit for being open-minded to let me sit down on his platform and just having a conversation. Some people are like, why would you talk to somebody like that? But I think that's where
that was good. That's where it has to be.
We need as a society, as a country, to sit down and have these difficult, sometimes uncomfortable conversations, because if he just stays over there where he's at and I'm stay over here where I'm at, we don't have anything in common. But when we sit down, we can have these conversations and we can bring these communities together. And I think that's what's important, man.
Yeah, 100%, dog. I agree. You know, and I could tell that you've been through the prison system though, because you just said justice involved. Yeah, they taught me to say that too. You don't got to say you're a felon or a convict. No, just tell them you're justice involved. That's the new slang. So yeah, I feel you. But no, you're absolutely correct though, dog. Like real talk. And Willie D, it's all love, brother. At the end of the day, yeah, this is a reaction video, and I got my opinions about your takes about things. But overall, I do appreciate you as a human being, man, for taking the time to have conversations with people that maybe you might not want to sit down with, but being willing to, and then actually taking the time to say, yo, I'll help you with justice reform. That's powerful, bro. And that's how we break through these walls that have been set up to divide us, man. And hopefully Willie D comes all the way around, and maybe you open them up to doing a little more digging about things, man, to see what people have lied about, what they have told the truth about, and you know, be able to decipher it, you know what I mean, and just be a champion of the people with saying what's real, not just for the shocking content. I don't know if he's doing that, like you say, for clickbait. I don't know, but I know that it ain't right. And I'm younger than Willie D. We both younger than Willie D. Like Willie D could be our grandfather. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
Yeah.
Man.
So it's like, bro, you know that ain't what it is now. I don't know, maybe what you went through when you was younger, but that's not the world that we live in. And here, me and you are living proof of that, bro. We're two different colored people, right? But we both have a deep love for our country, and a deep love for our neighbor, and a deep love for God. You know what I'm saying? And we stand on what's right. At the end of the day, we just stand on what's right. It ain't got nothing else to do with nothing, bro. It's just about right and wrong. And that's it. And that's how it should be, man. So shout out to you, my bro. I'm really proud of you, man, for that interview. Everybody go and watch the whole interview. It's linked in the description of this video. And show Willie D some love, man. Hit that like button for him, because he did take the time to reach out to Shane to have him come on and tell his story. And when you finish the interview, you'll see why I'm saying shout out to Willie D, because it was good. It was really good, man. And with that, Shane, you got anything else you'd like to say to the people, bro?
Man, I appreciate y'all having me. I appreciate you having me on, man. You know, you are my brother from my other mother, and somebody said my cousin from my J6 side of the family. But no, man, if y'all look me up on, you know, X and Instagram and all that other stuff, man. But I'm just blessed to be here, and I think that we all gotta, you know, I see a lot of the stuff people are saying in the chat, the detractors. I got a lot of love for the people that are saying the positive stuff, but I also got love for the people that say the negative stuff, man. Jesus died for those people too, you know what I mean? But
all day.
Yeah, God bless you, man. I appreciate you. I'm proud of you, dude. You've out here doing it and showing me how to do it. So I can't wait to do some more work with you, man.
That's what it's about, bro. To each one teach one, and that's how you reach one. That's it. That's right. What we got to just keep on doing, man. You know, and yeah, we got some work to do, man. Let's keep it going. Let's keep it going, bro. Everybody, I appreciate you guys. If you haven't already, please like this video and share this video. If you're new to the channel, then consider subscribing and becoming a member. I appreciate that. It helps to support the channel and helps it grow. So with that, I just want to say, when I say this phrase, Shane, when I'm done, when I say my last part, you got to say, woo! All right? All right. Here we go. Unite. Don't fight. Be a street light, because only you could be the change you wish to see in the world. And when you get too stressed out, you got to remember to pray, America, because without God, everything falls apart. And that is a fact.
Ooh.
Yeah, brother.
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you something, brother.
Let me tell you something, brother.